My dear students, welcome back to Geography lecture. I am Sanket sir. I hope you all are fine and safe at home during this COVID-19. So, in previous lecture we have started Geography lesson number 2, Population part 2. Yes student, as we discussed that population is very important aspects of any country for their development or means social and economical development. Many things are responsible or many things are connected to this population. Population is divided, we studied in previous lecture that through pyramid. There are certain ages are there, or age wise categorization is there, working population, dependent population is there, youth, then infant, then again senior citizen means old age people are there. This is the categorization, and we studied in previous lectures that population composition, age structure, then three main types of population pyramid, then sex composition we are going to study today now through this lecture, that is population composition. In this we are going to study second sex population composition, that is the sex composition. Third one literacy and education, occupational structure, etc., and rural composition. So student, let's start. Sex composition. I am on page number 13. Sex count. So here sex composition we are going to see. Means this is one aspect or this is one part of population division or distribution. Population sex composition. Population pyramids also tells us about the number of women and men in various age groups of the country. And these population pyramids which we studied, that is expansive population pyramid, constrictive and stationary population pyramid. These are population pyramids tells us about number of women and men in various age group. Now groups of various groups of the country, means like age group, different age group, right from infant to old age. So these different age groups we studied through this pyramid, population pyramid. The gender distribution in a country, gender wise distribution is also male, female, infant to old age. So the ratio between number of women and men, between the number of women and men in the population is called sex ratio. Means number of women behind per thousand men, that is called sex ratio. In standard 10 we studied lesson number 6. Just recall your memory, then you will understand what is a sex ratio. Sex ratio means the ratio of a number of female behind or number of female per thousand male in that particular region, that is called sex ratio. How to calculate sex ratio? Sex ratio is equal to total female population upon total male population into 100. This is the formula. Now student, sex ratio of 990 females per 1000 males, the highest sex ratio in the world has been recorded in countries like Latvia, Estonia, Russia, Ukraine, where there are 1162 females are there per 1000 males. Means behind this 1000 male, total 1162 females are there. So it means this is the highest sex ratio in the world. Places like Ukraine, Russia, etc. In contrast, the Saudi Arabia there are 667 females per 1000 males. So see, this is the difference, my dear student. One activity is given, my dear student, on page number 14. With the help of that activity, the table, we have to see next point, that is a demographic dividend. Now see, what is the demographic dividend? Demographic dividend refers to the growth in an economy. Demographic means statistical explanation or dividation. So this statistical data, this data refers to means data which is given in table, numbers. So this numerical statistical data refers to the growth in an economy which is the result of change in the age structure of a country's population. Now, the change comes because a decline in the birth rates and death rates. These changes happen in economical field or thing varied because of changes in or a decline in birth rates and death rates. Next one, in a country there is a working population and dependent population. See, many countries means each and every country has such criteria or such a thing. Ki population is there, but certain population which is depend on other, like infant or kids or children, they are not earning. They are just school going kids, so they cannot work anywhere, anytime. And second one, that is old age criteria. First one, infant, kids or children, and next one, that is old age. Senior citizens whose age is more than 60, 70 something, they cannot work. They totally depend on their family or on their son or daughter. So the population which some are dependent population, working population and dependent population. Working population means almost 20, 25 to 50, 54, 50. So this population, working population, now the ratio between working and non-working, these kids and old age or senior citizen, they cannot work, and whose age is 20 plus to 50, 60 something or 50, they are working population. So difference or ratio between the working and non-working dependent population determines or clarify how, or this population tells how productive the country is economically. Country is productive, how productive the country is economically, and the higher the ratio, higher will be the contribution of working population in economy. If ratio will be high of working population, what will happen? Economic development ratio of that particular country will be very high. So at the beginning of this lectures only I told you population, or this population is very important human resource of development, or this population is responsible for the development of society and economical development. Now see student, demographic dividend. This demographic dividend in a country is visible in following way. How we can make out this demographic dividend, or how we can understand this demographic dividend in a country? Which are the things that only we are going to study? This demographic things we can just make out through following ways. First one, personal savings can grow and can be used to stimulate the economy. Personal saving also, they also stimulate economy. Personal, each and every individual personal saving. Second one, as the number of children are less, family is very small, parents can invest more in their education. Parents can give very nice lifestyle and they can invest, they can put their money for the child education. Thus human capital is built, means human capital also in this way that also can give. Next, third one, demographic dividend, which we can say that is, as more women join the labor force, more women join labor force and become economically strong, means working women. Even today means not all are educated, so even female, they are working. they earn certain money, some money. So as more women join the labor force and become economically strong, of course they will work, they will get certain amount, certain means a salary, rupees, something. So they will economically, they become economically strong. They contribute in the country's economic growth, and this is also means GDP, gross domestic product, means per head whatever income or something is. So per capita GDP, per head GDP, gross domestic product, increases if number of people, working population is more, then what happen? GDP also increase, means economical situation or condition of country increase automatically, because four number, that is per capita GDP increases because dependency ratio is decreased. Next one that is one activity is given, my dear student, on page number 15, and this table tells us about retirement age country and retirement age reform being implemented or under consideration. Age criteria of retirement, different country has their own retirement criteria. How we have in India on an average 60 years may vary from 55 to 65 years according to the services, according to different field, different services. Retirement age criteria is very different. Somewhere it is 55, 60, somewhere 65, 55, 60 and 65. See, this table is given over here, page number 15. This table shows us about the retirement age criteria. Okay. See, table 2.2 shows that many countries have considered or are considering. Already some countries they have considered, and some countries still they are considering an increase in the retirement age. They are thinking that to increase the retirement age. For example, in India 60 was retirement age, but that has changed and it is now 55. But different services are there in that field or in particular field. They have 65 retirement age criteria. This is happening because increase in aging population puts increasing pressure on pension funding. Aging population, whose age is increasing, aging population, they put pressure on pension funding, pension funds, PF, etc., retirement provision and medical facilities. This aging population, they put pressure. Now therefore many countries have begun what? Raising the pensionable retirement and retirement age. Increase in aging population occurs because life expectancy means person so and so year is expected to live. For example, 80 years, 60 years, 70 years. So that life expectancy of population is generally increasing. Why? Because of advanced technology, good food and science field, medical field developments, different medicines or different medical facilities are available. So that is why this expectancy of population is generally increasing. Thus people can now work up to higher ages. Means because of this all what happened, people can work, their hygiene is good now, so they are able, they can work. So they can work up to higher ages also. For example, the life expectancy in Japan's life expectancy of any people or any person, that is 84 years. 84 years life expectancy of Japan, 84 years, around 84 years. Therefore, they are now considering increasing retirement age to 70, which is at present 60 years. Life expectancy in Japan is around 84 years, and that is why they are just thinking, or they are now considering increasing the retirement age. They are thinking that we should increase the retirement age from 60 to 70 years. which is right now 60 years. So many different things are responsible. Next on population composition we are going to study, that is education, literacy and education, literacy rate. Student, population, education makes really very an important effect or very certain drastic effect on population. So next population composition we are going to study, that is the literacy and education. Let's see. Proportion of literate population of a country is an indicator of its socio-economic development. So proportion of literate population, whatever number of people or literacy rate of any particular country, that is a good indicator or indicator of socio-economic development, good indicator of social development and economic development of any particular country or any country. Next, this literate population reveals the standard of living, social status of female, availability of education, facilities and policies of the government. Because of this, what we can understand, standard of living life of people, or the respect they give, the respect they social status of female, then availability of education facilities and policies of the government. These different things we can just guess, or we can just make out, or we can imagine about the government strategies and policies. Now the level of economic development is both a cause and consequence of literacy rate. Every country has its own definition of literacy. Each and every country-wise definition of literacy change. Now, in India, means what, student? Change means what? Literacy rate and all. See, some countries are there, they give just basic information, basic knowledge to their student or kids. But after certain grades or certain classes, they just identify the interest of the child or interest of the student of particular particular field, and they just give education to this particular child of that particular or typical or subject which he or she loves or take interest. So this is the definitions of countries, of different countries of education. Every country has its own definition of literacy. In India, literacy rate denotes the percentage of population about 7 years of age which is able to read. 7 years old age, 7 years old, any boy or girl, they can read. So it means those who know reading, they are literate or educated. Excuse me, student. 7 years of age which is able to read, right, and has the ability, which has able to read, write, and has the ability to do arithmetic calculation with understanding. Means person or anyone who knows reading, writing, and basic mathematical operations, plus, minus, subtraction, division, etc. So this is the definition of India of literacy or education. Now, student, one graph is given with on page number 16. One graph is given on page number 16. Page number 16, that is related to adult literacy rate by region and sex. Literacy rate is given of 2016. Yeah. So let's see this table. The thing is given like different countries, male, female, and their literacy rate are given. Which region has the highest literacy rate? Answer is, first 4 questions are given on the basis of, I'll just give you close view. Geography textbook, page number 16. This table or this graph is given. This graph is all about adult literacy rate by region. Particular regions are they given, areas are given. 6 wise and 2016, that is. So let's see first question. Which region has the highest literacy rate? C. Answer is Central Asia. Central Asia is having a higher literacy rate. Now, higher literacy rate 100. Second question is that which region has the lowest literacy rate? Which region has lowest literacy rate? Literacy rate. Which country is having literacy rate? Very lowest literacy rate. Sub-Saharan Africa. Sub-Saharan Africa. See literacy rate. This orange, pink is for female, blue is for male, and orange is for total, male, female, total. Index is given. Next question: in which region does the women fare better than men in literacy rate? See, in Eastern South of Asia, 97, and females are 94. If you compare other male and female, this is a better. Women education rate, literacy rate is better. Write the conducting paragraph about the graph. Okay, this all information we'll have to explain. This graph tells us about adult literacy rate by region and sex of particular year 2016, etc., etc. So few things are given related to this table or related to this graph, that only we are going to study right now. So the things are geographical explanation. The graph in figure which right now we have seen that clearly tells us that we find differences in literacy rate in same continent. Literacy rate is different in one continent only. Compared to the global average, the literacy rate in Europe, North America and Eastern and Southeast Asian countries, North America is higher. Whereas they are lower in Northern Africa, African continent, Northern Africa, Western Asia, South Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa. So literacy rate is very less in the Sahara and Asia and Western Asia, South Asia and Northern Africa. Now in any continent or subcontinent, the literacy rate of females is not more than the male. Females literacy rate is not more than the male. Except where there is a full literacy is in Central Asia, is same in Europe and North America. According to the graph, lowest literacy rate is in Sub-Saharan Africa. So this is the thing which is related to literacy rate of different places in all over the world. Now for today's lecture, that's it. We'll see next information or next part of this lesson in next lecture. So student, stay home, stay safe. Bye.